called as application deployment, or have any of you worked on deploying any application into servers? Just checking with you people if you are already aware about it, or if someone has already worked on it, or if you know that, no, like, okay, this is only application deployment. I know this, I've heard this terminologies. So if there is any such case, no, like, you can just post yes. That's it. I'll proceed with the assumption, no, like, I have a set of audience who already knows this application deployment. Yeah. No. Okay, great. So today's topic is, as I said, we're going to discuss about application deployment. So to start with, there are two types of application. One is the web application, and second one is the standalone application. So first is the web application, and the second one is the standalone application. So these days, standalone application has lost its value because we will not be able to make money with the standalone application. The standalone application can be easily pirated. Okay, so making money with standalone application is not a business anymore. Okay, so all the IT business are around web application. So example, so whatever application we work with Gmail, correct? So they give you 15 GB free, and post to that they are charging you some 100 rupees for 100 GB or 50 GB. So it's a business. So you are allowed to use Facebook for free, but you will have to see the ads coming in, and the Facebook will be making money from this FB ads. Correct? The same way YouTube. So all of these examples that I'm quoting are web application. Okay. So web application deployment is very important in the world of IT. So that is why I'm quoting all these examples. So to any company make money, they need a web application. They need to run a business on with web application. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to deploy web application on top of Windows Server today, and tomorrow we will see how to deploy application on top of Linux server. Okay, so how we can build a web application? There are three things that is very mandatory for any web application. One is HTML. So the code should be written in HTML. It is the only web protocol that is used. Second one is, to make it beautiful, I need something called a CSS, and to make it communicative, I need something called as JavaScript. So we cannot build a web application without this three. So this is called as a web technology, and these are the basic things that we must know. Basics of web technology. So I must have an application which is written in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Only then I will be able to demonstrate you this web application. Correct? The first prerequisite of today's class is website itself. And second prerequisite is where I'm going to deploy. I'm going to deploy it on top of web server. And this web server will be installed on top of Windows or Linux server. So this web server is also termed as middleware. Okay. So what are the steps involved in setting up, installing or deploying web application? Deploy web application steps. First step, we need to identify our web app. So we need web application. Step 2, choose middleware. which is my web server. So there are plenty of middlewares available in the market. So for Windows, I'm going to choose something called as IIS, which is an inbuilt tool which is available in Windows Server itself. Third thing is I must know how to do deployment. That's it. So deployment is a process of copying this web application into a folder which points to this middleware tool. Okay. So I have to identify this folder. I know this folder. I will show you where it is. So if we achieve all these three steps, our application deployment is completed. So I need a web application which is using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and I must choose my middleware. In my case, I have choose this middleware which is called as IIS. Why I choose this? This is the default web server available in Windows. And third step is I must find the deployment folder to deploy this web application. Okay, so this deployment is a process of copying the file. Okay, from this perspective, my deployment is done. So how an end customer will view this application? If you remember yesterday, I have told something called as protocol. And for Windows, we use this protocol called as 3389, correct? What protocol is this?
RDP.
RDP. In the same way, to access internet applications, I need a port called as 80, which is named as HTTP, to be open in my server. Okay. So to do this configuration, I must know something called as network security group, NSG. So we will be looking a separate session on network security group. But today I will show you how to whitelist port number 80 to the whole world so that anybody can access my application. Okay. So this is the context of today's class. With this small demo, we will close. Okay. Hardly I will take next 15 or 20 minutes. And then I will close the show today. So I've started late. It's my mistake. Okay. So let me log into the Azure portal very quickly. Not here. Okay. And where is my Azure portal? Azure portal is here. So let me see if I have created any servers. Okay, yesterday for our demo, I created a server which is called as Windows, correct? I'm going to use the same server for today's demo as well. So what I'll do, I'll first connect to the server. So how I will connect? I'll connect through RDP. Okay, I'll go to RDP and then I'll type this IP address. I think it is already selected, right? Do enter. I have to give the password. I already know the password because I created it yesterday. Testing at the rate 123, correct? Yeah, it is connecting. Okay, if I go back to my window, first step is pending, correct? Web app is pending. Choosing middleware, installing middleware is pending, and finding folder is pending. What is completed? Only one step is completed, which is already, yesterday we discussed create a server. So this is completed, correct? I've created a server and logged into the server. So now I have to see how to install my IIS software inside this server. So how to install my middleware in the server. So that is the important thing. So what I will do, I will log into my server. So luckily I've got this window. So if not, what you have to do is like you have to click on this Windows icon and type the word called as server manager. Server manager. When you click this, you will get this window. So this is the server manager that was already open for me. So I have opened it second time. So now there is an option in the very left corner called as, the middle called as add roles. Click this option called as add roles and navigate to the server role by clicking this next option. Next. You will find this server roles. Here in the server roles, there is something called as web server IIS, correct? You see this? So this is how you have to install your ISS in the Windows server. Add this feature and then install next, next, and then install. Okay. So while this installation is happening, let me go to C drive and show you something. In your my computer and C drive, you find only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 folders. Correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 folders. By the time it completes the installation, I will get a new folder which is called as inetpub. Okay, that is the eighth folder that I'll be getting when the installation is getting completed. Okay, it is not yet completed yet. I'll get the eighth folder. That is my application deployment folder where I have to copy my applications to. Okay, I'll wait for that to complete. It will hardly take 5 minutes. So I'll leave it for next 5 minutes. Okay, time is 9:55. Let's wait until 10 o'clock. Okay. So how many of you see this new folder called as inetpub that is getting created here? You see this? Did we create it? No, right? So this was created as part of this application installation. Okay. And we will have to deploy our application on this folder called as www root. Okay. This is the place where we want to deploy our application. Okay. Is it clear? So where
Yes.
my application? So I don't have any application at the moment. What I will deploy, that will be the question, correct? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a sample application that is floating in the internet. So photo vibrant web template. Just type this on the internet. So there is a website called as Theme SEO. Okay, just check this and get into this website. So this application is down for some reason. I don't know. It used to work all the time. Uh, the- Let me open another window, other browser. See if this. Guys, is any of you able to access this particular website? Can you guys try? Let me know. If not, I'll plan for an alternate solution. You guys try this. Let me know if it is opening for you. If it is not opening for you, then it is okay. I'll plan another alternate solution. Is it working for you? Anybody?
No witness. Not working.
Not working. Okay, no problem. So what I'm going to do after this class, I'm going to share you a program code. Okay. Uh, Photo different. Okay, show all 39. Okay. So I'm going to share you a folder which is called as photo vibrant. So what you're going to do is you're going to extract this particular folder, extract all, and once it is extracted, you will be able to see it in your downloads directory. Okay, once you extract it, you will get something called as photo vibrant. Here we will have our program code. Okay, so what all we had? We had some. We need something called as CSS. We need something called as JavaScript. We need something called as HTML. So this is a HTML file. We have all this content. What I do, I select all and copy. Okay, right click, copy, or Control C, copy. Now you get into this particular server, and inside this init pub there is a folder called as www root, and here just paste this particular source code of the application. Okay, and that is all. Our application is deployed successfully. How to see the output, that is very important. Whenever we do this application deployment, we have to restart the web server, the middleware. The easiest way to restart your middleware is go to command prompt, type IIS reset. This will stop our web server and restart it. How to test whether the application is deployed? Go to Internet Explorer, type localhost. That's it. So whichever is locally deployed in your server will be visible. Got it? So this is my web application I'm trying to deploy. So this is internally available for the users who have access to server. How do I make this application globally available for all the users? That is the challenge. Okay. So I've told you that we have to have something called as network security group. There I have to whitelist the port number called as 80, which is called as HTTP port. Okay. So when we do that, this application will be accessible to the whole world with IP address. Okay, so that is the next step that I'm going to do. So for that, again, you have to get into your Azure Management Console, click on the server, and in the server, you have something called as networking. Okay, you see this? Click networking, go to add inbound rules, and type a rule called as 80, or you can choose this particular service as HTTP. This will automatically point you 80, and then just add it. Now, after this rule is being added, I'll be able to access this application from anywhere. Copy this IP address, paste it in the internet, and you will be able to see the application loading. So you guys even you can try this. So go to your browser, look for 40, 71, 174, 71, and you can still load this application. This is globally. We have created an application and deployed it on the server and made it available for the whole audience. In the same way, if you are a web application developer, you can create a website to sell products, deploy it on Azure, and give the IP address to the end customer so that you can make your own business in IT. So, how do you feel? So, do you feel this for application deployment is very simple and easy?
Yes.
Simple, right? So I want you
Yeah.
guys to try this out. So from my end, what I'll be sharing is after the call right away, I'll share this photo vibrant.zip file on WhatsApp. Download it and follow the steps and get this done. Okay. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Again, open to any feedback. Uh, we will meet on Monday, and I'll make sure that I'll start sharp by 9 o'clock. Okay, will not have any delay. So if you have any questions, you can ask me now.
Only one question, Vignesh.
Yeah, please go ahead.
The command you just restart the server, web server, right?
Correct. That is IIS reset.
Okay, I understood.
IIS reset. I've
Yeah.
posted it as a message.
Okay. Thank you.
So anybody, any questions? Okay, guys. They're nice. Have a good rest of the day. Have a good weekend. Practice this. We'll meet on Monday. Thanks all for your time.
Thank you, Vignesh. Thank you for your great effort.